Alrighty, so the homework was to build off of the existing program that we wrote in week 2 and modify it to be a little bit more dynamic and useful. So the idea was is that we would use collections or lists specifically that will allow the user to actually input the inventory of the software before the program actually runs. So it gives us, it just makes the program a lot more interesting and dynamic. And whenever you're ready, Jason, I can go ahead and modify
Yes.
what I did last week and add in those elements.
Hmm.
So if you guys recall, what we started with last week was a program that allows us to enter how much money we have and then allows us to purchase items. And then finally, when we run out of money, come on, seriously?
Why don't
What
you
do we
just
got?
why don't you just buy a bunch of Mountain Dews? I mean, they're $100, dude. All right. Anyways, continue.
But it finally just exits out of the program when you don't have any money.
Because you
But
broke.
to make this, yeah, pretty much. You spent all your money on soda, which is hardly a good investment strategy. Um, so what we need to do now is we need to make the application more dynamic so we can input the inventory at the beginning of the program. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll add in some variables at the top of the program to contain the data that we need to contain. Because each item is both a name and a price, I'm going to put in two lists, two dynamic collections into the top of the program to contain the inventory. So the first list I'm going to introduce is going to be a string called product names, and of course I will have to instantiate it because that's what you have to do. We haven't really talked about instantiation yet. Now you'll notice the first thing that comes up is an error. That is because list is underneath the system collections generic namespace. So to make our code a little bit cleaner and easier to read, I'm going to add a using statement at the top of the program for using system collections generic. And that makes that error go away.